The secret law of effortless wealth. There's a kind of wealth that doesn't demand. It doesn't show up in sleepless nights, burnout, or endless sacrifice. It's natural, abundant, inevitable. And it comes from one thing: alignment. But somewhere along the way, people began to misunderstand wealth. They think money is earned by working harder. They think it's about sacrifice, struggle, and suffering. They think if you're not exhausted, you're not trying hard enough. That's not true. Real wealth is not about doing more. It's about becoming more. Think of how often you chase money with force. You work overtime, missing dinners with loved ones. You take on extra projects, sacrificing your health. You check your bank account obsessively, feeling the anxiety rise with every glance. You measure your worth by your paycheck, your car, your address. And you call that ambition, when in truth, it's imprisonment. The truth is, forced effort is one of the biggest blocks to wealth. We hustle for opportunities that drain us. We chase income that owns us. We build lives that look successful but feel empty. And when the money comes, it never feels like enough. We mistake exhaustion for progress, when it's really resistance to the natural flow of abundance. Effortless wealth doesn't mean you stop working. It means you stop forcing. It means learning how to attract instead of chase, to create from alignment, not anxiety, to build wealth that serves your life, not consumes it. You see, the secret law of effortless wealth is not a shortcut. It's a recalibration. It doesn't promise instant riches. It reveals how money actually flows and how you've been blocking it without knowing. Most people never learn this law. They swing between extremes. They either work themselves to death or give up entirely. They either chase every opportunity or avoid risk completely. And both are prisons. Think about the times you've been consumed by financial stress, bills piling up, debt growing, opportunities passing by. Each time you tried to force a solution, you worked harder, thinking effort would fix it. But the harder you pushed, the more stuck you felt. That's the trap of forced wealth. It teaches you to fight against the current instead of flowing with it. The secret law of effortless wealth is about understanding the invisible rules of money. It's the ability to work with abundance, not against it, to receive without guilt, to prosper without burnout, to build wealth that grows while you sleep. When you master this law, life doesn't lose meaning. It gains freedom. You begin to see opportunities that were always there, but invisible to your stressed mind. You stop chasing every dollar and start attracting aligned income. You stop trading time for money and start building systems that serve you. You stop reacting to lack and start creating from abundance. And this is where real wealth begins. Because effortless wealth is not laziness, it's intelligence. It's the inner alignment that allows you to think clearly, act strategically, and attract naturally. It's what turns struggle into flow, scarcity into abundance, and chaos into financial peace. In this audiobook, you'll learn how to unlock that alignment, how to work smart without burning out, how to attract money without selling your soul, and how to build a wealth foundation so strong that no economic shift, job loss, or unexpected expense can shake it. We'll explore the hidden psychology of money and how your beliefs create your reality. We'll uncover the effortless wealth formula and how to apply it daily. You'll learn practical tools like the abundance reset, the value creation method, and the 3% rule. And most importantly, you'll learn how to turn your natural talents into your greatest asset instead of working against your design. By the end of this journey, you'll no longer chase money. You'll attract it. You'll no longer fear scarcity. You'll trust abundance. You'll no longer measure wealth by hours worked. You'll measure it by freedom gained. This is the secret law of effortless wealth. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Hustle Culture Lie. We've been sold a lie, a convincing one, a lie that sounds like virtue, discipline, and success. The lie is this: work hard, and you'll be rich. But look around. Look at the hardest working people you know. The single parent working 3 jobs. The entrepreneur pulling all-nighters. The employee who never takes vacation. Are they wealthy, or are they exhausted? Hustle culture has convinced us that struggle equals worthiness, that if you're not tired, you're not trying, that rest is for the lazy, that wealth requires sacrifice. And millions believe it. They wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. They brag about their lack of sleep. They glorify being busy, even when nothing meaningful gets done. This is the hustle culture lie, and it's destroying more wealth than it creates. Let's take a simple story. You're an ambitious person. You've been taught that hard work is the only way, so you take every opportunity that comes. You say yes to every project, every client, every extra shift. You tell yourself, just a few more years of this grind, then I'll relax. But months turn into years. Your health declines. Your relationships suffer. Your bank account grows slightly, but your soul shrinks. And deep down, you wonder, is this really what success looks like? By the time you pause to reflect, you realize you've been running on a hamster wheel, moving constantly, but going nowhere. That's what happens when you confuse activity with achievement, when you believe more hours equal more money, when you think your worth is measured by your exhaustion. The truth is, hustle culture is not a path to wealth. It's a path to burnout disguised as ambition. Think about the wealthiest people in the world. Warren Buffett doesn't work 80-hour weeks. Bill Gates takes reading vacations. Naval Ravikant talks about leverage, not labor. They didn't get rich by doing more. They got rich by doing what matters. There's a difference between hard work and smart work. Hard work says, I'll work 16 hours a day. Smart work says, I'll work 4 focused hours and automate the rest. Hard work says, I'll take every client who pays. Smart work says, I'll work with clients who value me. Hard work says, success requires sacrifice. Smart work says, success requires alignment. When you operate from hustle culture, you make decisions from scarcity. You take the low-paying job because money is money. You accept disrespect because it's just business. You ignore your intuition because logic says this is the smart move. But effortless wealth operates differently. It understands that your energy is your most valuable resource. Where you place that energy determines what you attract. Hustle culture teaches you to chase. Effortless wealth teaches you to magnetize. Hustle culture says, go get it. Effortless wealth says, become it. Every time you force an outcome, you send a signal to the universe, I don't trust that abundance exists for me. And the universe responds to your belief. If you believe you must fight for every dollar, you will. If you believe money is scarce, it will be. If you believe wealth requires suffering, it will cost you everything. But the moment you shift your belief, everything changes. This doesn't mean you stop working. It means you stop working from fear. You start working from alignment, from strategy, from flow. You begin to ask different questions. Not how can I work harder, but how can I create more value? Not how many hours should I work, but what outcome am I creating? Not why isn't this working, but what needs to shift in my approach? Effortless wealth isn't about being lazy. It's about being intentional. It's understanding that a stressed mind cannot create wealth. A burnt-out body cannot sustain success. A scarcity mindset cannot attract abundance. The secret law of effortless wealth begins with one realization: you are not a machine designed to produce endlessly. You are a creative being designed to flow, naturally. And when you work with your design instead of against it, wealth becomes inevitable. Chapter 2. The invisible money blocks. You think you want money. But do you really? Before you answer, consider this. Every person has invisible beliefs about money. Beliefs you didn't choose. Beliefs you inherited. Beliefs that now control your financial reality. These are called money blocks, and they're the silent killers of wealth. Most people don't even know they have them. They work hard, set goals, take action, but somehow money always slips away. They get close to a breakthrough, then something happens. An unexpected expense, a lost opportunity, a self-sabotaging decision, and they call it bad luck, when in truth, it's a programmed pattern. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah is talented, educated, hardworking. She started a business, gained clients, and began making good money. But every time her income increased, something would break. Her car, her laptop, a family emergency. She'd think, why does this always happen to me? The answer wasn't in her circumstances. It was in her subconscious. Growing up, Sarah's parents fought constantly about money. She heard her father say, money is the root of all problems. She watched her mother sacrifice happiness for financial security. She learned that money causes pain. So her subconscious created a protective mechanism, keep money away to avoid pain. Every time she got close to wealth, her mind found a way to sabotage it, not consciously, subconsciously. This is how money blocks work. They operate in the shadows, invisible, yet powerful. There are common blocks almost everyone carries. Rich people are greedy. If you believe this, your subconscious will prevent you from becoming wealthy because it doesn't want you to become what you despise. I don't deserve money. If you believe this, you'll work twice as hard for half the pay, always undercharging, always undervaluing yourself. Money is hard to make. If you believe this, you'll create complicated strategies, reject simple opportunities, and make wealth unnecessarily difficult. If I'm wealthy, people will judge me. If you believe this, you'll dim your success, hide your wins, and stay small to stay safe. These beliefs aren't logical. They're emotional. They were installed during childhood, moments when your mind was most impressionable. A parent's offhand comment, we can't afford that. A teacher's judgment, not everyone is meant to be successful. A cultural message, money doesn't grow on trees. Each statement planted a seed. And now that seed has grown into a forest of limitation. Think about your own relationship with money. When you receive it, do you feel guilty? When you spend it, do you feel anxious? When someone asks your rate, do you hesitate? When you see someone wealthy, do you feel resentment or inspiration? Your answers reveal your blocks. Here's the thing about money blocks. They're not just thoughts. They're identities. You've built a self-image around them. I'm not good with money. I'm not a business person. I'm just not lucky. And every day, you live in a way that confirms these identities. You avoid opportunities because that's not who I am. You stay in low-paying jobs because I'm comfortable here. You don't invest because I don't understand that stuff. But these aren't truths about you. They're stories you've been telling yourself. And the beautiful, terrifying truth is, you can change the story. Effortless wealth begins when you recognize these blocks. Not to judge them, not to fight them, but to witness them and choose differently. When you catch yourself thinking, I can't afford this, pause, reframe, how can I afford this? When you catch yourself saying, rich people are greedy, pause, reframe, wealthy people who use money for good inspire me. When you catch yourself undercharging, pause, ask, what would someone who values themselves charge? This is the work. Not out there in the market, in here, in your mind. Because no strategy, no opportunity, no amount of effort will create lasting wealth if your subconscious is programmed for scarcity. You can make $1 million, but if you believe you're not worthy of it, you'll lose it. You can receive a huge opportunity. But if you believe success isn't for people like you, you'll sabotage it. You can learn every wealth-building strategy. But if you believe money is evil, you'll unconsciously push it away. The secret law of effortless wealth says your outer world is a reflection of your inner beliefs. Change the belief and the reality shifts. This doesn't happen instantly. Your subconscious has years of programming. But with awareness, repetition, and new evidence, you can rewire it. Every time you act despite the fear, you create new evidence. Every time you charge your worth, you tell your mind, I am valuable. Every time you celebrate your wins, you tell your mind, I deserve success. And slowly, the blocks crumble, not because you destroyed them with force, but because you outgrew them with new truths. Effortless wealth is not about removing every fear. It's about moving forward despite them. It's not about becoming fearless. It's about becoming more powerful than your fear. And when you do this inner work, something magical happens. Opportunities appear that you never noticed before. Money flows from unexpected sources. Your income increases without increasing your hours, not because the world changed, but because you did. Chapter 3. The effortless wealth formula. Here's what most people get wrong about wealth. They think it's about addition. Add more hours, add more clients, add more hustle. But real wealth is about multiplication. It's about leverage. The effortless wealth formula is simple. Value times leverage times alignment equals wealth. Let me break it down. Value is what you create. Value is not about how hard you work. It's about how much transformation you create. A doctor who saves a life creates immense value. An artist who inspires millions creates immense value. A teacher who changes one child's trajectory creates immense value. Value is measured by impact, not effort. Most people trade time for money. They think, I worked 8 hours, so I deserve 8 hours of pay. But the market doesn't pay for your time. It pays for your value. Someone working 8 hours at minimum wage creates minimal value. Someone working 8 hours creating a product used by thousands creates massive value. Same time, different value, different wealth. The first step of effortless wealth is asking, how can I create more value? Not, how can I work more hours? Leverage is how you multiply. Leverage is the difference between trading time for money and building systems that generate income. There are 4 types of leverage: people leverage, building a team; capital leverage, investing money; code leverage, building software or systems; media leverage, creating content that scales. Let's say you're a consultant. Without leverage, you trade 1 hour for 1 fee. Your income is capped by your time. But with leverage, you create a course, write a book, build a system. Now, 1 hour of work can generate income repeatedly. This is how the wealthy think. Not how much can I earn per hour, but how can I earn while I sleep? Alignment is who you become. This is the missing piece most people ignore. You can create value. You can build leverage. But if you're not aligned with your purpose, your energy, your truth, it will collapse. Alignment means working in your zone of genius, not against it. Building wealth that supports your life, not consumes it. Making decisions from abundance, not fear. When all 3 elements combine, wealth becomes effortless. You create high value because you're doing what you're naturally great at. You multiply that value through leverage, and you sustain it because you're aligned with your truth. Let me show you how this works in real life. Meet James. James was a corporate lawyer, making good money but miserable. He worked 70-hour weeks, felt drained, and dreaded Mondays. One day he realized something. I'm creating value for my firm, but I'm dying inside. So he asked himself the effortless wealth questions. What value am I naturally great at creating? How can I leverage that value? What would feel aligned? He realized he loved teaching. He was great at simplifying complex legal topics, and he had a gift for communication. So he started a YouTube channel teaching basic legal principles. At first, it was a side project, but slowly it grew. His value, simplifying legal confusion for everyday people. His leverage, YouTube, online courses, digital products. His alignment, teaching instead of defending. Within 2 years, his channel had millions of views. His courses generated passive income. His stress disappeared. Same person, same skills, different formula. The effortless wealth formula doesn't require you to become someone new. It requires you to optimize who you already are. Most people are working against their design. Introverts forcing themselves into sales, creative people stuck in analytical roles, strategic thinkers trapped in operational tasks, and they wonder why wealth feels hard. Effortless wealth says, find your natural advantage and amplify it. What comes easy to you, but hard to others? That's your value zone. How can you deliver that value to more people without trading more time? That's your leverage question. Does this path excite you or drain you? That's your alignment test. When you answer these honestly, you unlock the formula. This doesn't mean success is instant. Building leverage takes time. Creating systems requires effort up front. Finding alignment demands self-awareness. But the effort is different. It's not forced. It's focused. It's not exhausting. It's energizing. It's not I have to do this. It's I get to do this. That shift in energy changes everything. Because when you work from alignment, you outperform people who work from obligation. When you create real value, people will pay you more. When you build leverage, your income scales. The effortless wealth formula is not a hack. It's a framework for working with reality instead of against it. And once you apply it, you'll wonder how you ever lived any other way. Chapter 4. The Abundance Reset. Your phone has a reset button. Your computer has a reset button. But did you know your mind does too? It's called the Abundance Reset. Most people live in scarcity mode without realizing it. Their default setting is lack. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough opportunity. And because that's their filter, that's what they see. The Abundance Reset is about changing your default setting from scarcity to abundance. Here's how it works. Every morning, before you check your phone, before you think about your to-do list, you pause. You take 3 deep breaths, and you ask yourself one question. What abundance already exists in my life? Not what am I lacking, but what do I already have? This simple shift rewires your brain. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your skills. Maybe it's relationships, opportunities, or potential. The point is to train your mind to see what's there, not just what's missing. Because here's a neurological truth, your brain is designed to find what you're looking for. If you're looking for problems, you'll find them. If you're looking for scarcity, you'll see it everywhere. But if you train your brain to look for abundance, it will reveal itself. Let me give you an example. 2 people walk down the same street. Person 1 thinks, I'll never afford a house like these. Person 2 thinks, people like me can build wealth. I wonder how they did it. Same street, same houses, different mental programming. Person 1 feels defeated, person 2 feels inspired. The external reality didn't change. The internal lens did. The abundance reset is not about denying reality. It's not toxic positivity. It's not pretending problems don't exist. It's about choosing where you place your focus. Because focus determines action, and action determines results. When you focus on lack, you make decisions from fear. You take the low-paying job because at least it's something. You settle for less because this is all I can get. You don't invest in yourself because I can't afford it. But when you reset to abundance, you make decisions from possibility. You negotiate because I know my worth. You invest in yourself because I'm worth the bet. You take calculated risks because I trust the process. The abundance reset also changes how you relate to money. Scarcity mindset hoards money. Abundance mindset circulates it. Scarcity mindset fears spending. Abundance mindset invests strategically. Scarcity mindset sees wealth as finite. Abundance mindset knows wealth is created. Here's a practical exercise. The gratitude wealth loop. Every night before bed, write down 3 financial wins from the day, not just big wins. Small ones, count 2. I found $5 in my jacket. I negotiated a better deal. I received an unexpected compliment about my work. Your brain learns wealth is always flowing to me. And when your brain believes this, your behavior aligns. You start noticing opportunities. You start taking actions you previously avoided. You start attracting situations that confirm the belief. This is the abundance reset in action. It's not magic. It's neuroscience. Your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information, prioritizes what you've told it is important. If you tell it, I'm broke, it will show you evidence of being broke. If you tell it I'm building wealth, it will show you paths to wealth. The abundance reset is not a one-time event. It's a daily practice. Because your mind will default back to scarcity. That's normal. Scarcity was a survival mechanism for thousands of years. But you're not just surviving anymore. You're thriving. And thriving requires a different operating system. Reset. Daily. Focus on abundance. Act from possibility. And watch how your financial reality transforms. Chapter 5. The 3% rule. Most people think big wealth requires big changes. Quit your job. Start a business. Take massive risks. But that's not how effortless wealth works. Effortless wealth is built through small, consistent improvements. Enter the 3% rule. The 3% rule states, if you improve any area of your financial life by just 3% consistently, the compounding effect creates exponential results. Let me show you the math. If you improve your income by 3% every month for a year, you're not 36% better. You're 42.5% better because of compounding. If you do this for 5 years, you're 530% better. That's the power of small, consistent growth. But here's where most people fail. They try to change everything at once. They create a massive plan, overwhelm themselves, and quit within a week. The 3% rule says change one thing by 3% and master it before moving to the next. Month 1, increase your savings rate by 3%. If you save $100, now you save $103. Small? Yes. Sustainable? Absolutely. Month 2, increase your value delivery by 3%. Add 1 extra skill. Improve 1 process. Deliver 1 unexpected benefit to a client. Month 3, decrease unnecessary expenses by 3%, not by cutting everything, by optimizing 1 category. The beauty of the 3% rule is that it doesn't require perfection. It requires consistency. And consistency beats intensity every time. Think about fitness. Someone who works out intensely for 2 weeks then quits gets no results. Someone who walks 20 minutes daily for a year transforms their health. Wealth is the same. 1 viral post won't build lasting income, but posting valuable content consistently for a year can. One lucky investment won't create financial freedom, but consistent strategic investing over decades will. The 3% rule removes the pressure of overnight success. It gives you permission to grow gradually. Here's how to apply it. Step 1. Choose one area of your financial life: income, savings, skills, expenses, or investments. Not all of them. 1. Step 2. Ask, what would a 3% improvement look like? If your income is $3,000 per month, 3% is $90. How can you earn an extra $90 this month? Maybe you sell something you don't use, take on one small freelance project, or ask for a small raise. It's not huge. That's the point. Step 3. Do it. Not perfectly. Just do it. Step 4. Once it's consistent, add the next 3%. By month 12, you've compounded 12 small improvements, and your financial life looks completely different. Let me tell you about Rachel. Rachel was stuck at $50,000 a year. She felt trapped, like she'd hit her ceiling. Then she learned the 3% rule. Month 1, she optimized her resume, adding metrics to her achievements. Month 2, she asked for a 3% raise at her review. She got it. Month 3, she started a side project, earning $150 per month. Month 4, she increased her side project by 3%, now earning $154.50. Small changes. Consistent effort. By the end of the year, her income had grown from $50,000 to $58,400. Not overnight, but steadily. And more importantly, she built the confidence and habits that would continue compounding. The 3% rule works because it respects your psychology. Big goals feel intimidating. Small goals feel achievable. And when you achieve small goals consistently, you build momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates bigger action. Bigger action creates bigger results. Before you know it, you're not the same person who started. The 3% rule also protects you from burnout. You're not trying to become a different person overnight. You're becoming a slightly better version of yourself every month. And that's sustainable. Most wealth advice tells you to 10x your income or scale to 7 figures, but that's not realistic for most people starting out. The 3% rule meets you where you are. It says, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to be 3% better. And when you embrace that, something beautiful happens. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop feeling behind. You start trusting the process. Because you're not chasing someone else's timeline, you're building yours. 3% better this month, 3% better next month, and the month after that. Small improvements, compounded over time, create extraordinary results. That's the secret the wealthy know. Wealth isn't built in a day. It's built in 1,000 small, intentional decisions. And the 3% rule makes every decision count. Chapter 6. The value creation method. There's a question most people never ask. What value am I creating? They ask, how much should I charge? How do I get more clients? Why isn't this working? But they skip the most important question. Because here's the truth. Money flows to value. The more value you create, the more money flows to you. Not because you're hustling harder, but because you're creating what people actually need. The value creation method is simple. Identify a problem, create a solution, deliver it consistently. That's it. But most people get stuck at step 1. They try to sell what they want to sell, not what the market needs. They create products no one asked for. They offer services that don't solve real problems. And they wonder why money isn't flowing. Let me tell you about David. David was a fitness trainer. He was good at his job, but he struggled to get clients. One day, he asked himself, "What problem am I actually solving?" His answer? "I help people lose weight." But everyone says that. It's generic. It's not specific enough to create real value. So he dug deeper. He talked to his ideal clients, and he discovered something. Busy professionals don't have time for hour-long gym sessions. They need quick, effective workouts they can do at home. So he pivoted. He created 15-minute workout plans designed for people with no equipment and no time. Suddenly, clients flooded in, not because he became a better trainer, but because he created specific value for a specific problem. That's the value creation method. Here's how you apply it. Step 1. Identify a specific problem. Not people want to be happy, but people struggle with anxiety before work presentations. The more specific, the more valuable your solution becomes. Step 2. Create a solution that actually works. Not a theory, a real, practical, tested solution. Step 3. Deliver it in a way that's easy to consume. No one wants complex. They want simple, clear, and actionable. Step 4. Test, refine, repeat. Your first version won't be perfect. That's okay. Improve as you go. Now let's talk about the value ladder. The value ladder is how you scale your income without scaling your time. Level 1, low cost, high volume. This could be a $10 ebook, a $50 course, or a $100 consultation. You're serving many people with a smaller offer. Level 2, mid-cost, focused service. This could be a $500 group program, a $1,000 workshop, or a $2,000 package. You're serving fewer people, but delivering deeper value. Level 3, high-cost, premium transformation. This could be a $5,000 coaching program, a $10,000 consulting package, or a $25,000 done-for-you service. You're serving very few people, but creating life-changing results. Most people only operate at one level. But effortless wealth requires all three. The low-cost offers build your audience. The mid-cost offers build your income. The high-cost offers build your wealth. And here's the key. Each level of the ladder requires a different type of value. Low-cost value, information and education. People pay for knowledge. Mid-cost value, guidance and implementation. People pay for support in applying that knowledge. High-cost value, transformation and results. People pay for outcomes. When you understand this, you stop undercharging. You stop trading time for money. You start building systems that scale. Here's another critical piece. Value is not just about what you deliver. It's about how you deliver it. Two people can teach the same thing. One delivers it in a boring, confusing way. The other delivers it in an engaging, clear way. Who creates more value? The second person. Because value is measured by the result, not the effort. So ask yourself, how can I make my solution easier to understand? How can I make my service more enjoyable? How can I deliver faster, better, or in a more unique way? These questions separate average earners from high earners. The value creation method is not about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about deeply understanding what people need and becoming the person who provides it better than anyone else. And when you do this, you don't have to chase clients. They come to you. You don't have to convince people to buy. They see the value and invest willingly. You don't have to compete on price. You compete on transformation. This is how effortless wealth is built, not by forcing sales, but by creating undeniable value. Chapter 7. The fear of success. Here is something most people don't talk about. The fear of success. We hear a lot about the fear of failure, but the fear of success is just as powerful and far more insidious. Because at least fear of failure is obvious. You know you're afraid to fail, so you avoid taking risks. But fear of success, it hides. It disguises itself as self-sabotage, procrastination, and bad luck. Let me explain. Success means change. Change means uncertainty. And uncertainty feels dangerous to your nervous system, so your subconscious protects you by keeping you small. Think about it. How many times have you been on the verge of a breakthrough, then something randomly went wrong? You got sick right before the big meeting. You forgot to send the important email. You picked a fight with your partner during a crucial week. These aren't coincidences. They're self-sabotage. Your subconscious is terrified of what success will bring. Visibility, responsibility, expectations, judgment, change in relationships. So it finds creative ways to keep you in your comfort zone. Let me tell you about Emily. Emily was a talented designer. She had a chance to pitch her work to a major client. This was her dream opportunity, but the morning of the pitch, she woke up with terrible anxiety. She almost canceled. She felt physically ill. She thought she was just nervous. But it was deeper than that. Her subconscious was screaming, if you succeed, everything changes. And what if you can't handle it? That's the fear of success. It shows up as procrastination on important projects, perfectionism that prevents you from finishing, undercharging because I'm not ready for big clients yet, refusing help because I should be able to do this alone, and avoiding visibility because I don't want the attention. And the cruelest part? You don't realize you're doing it. You genuinely believe you want success. But a deeper part of you is terrified of what comes with it. So how do you overcome this? Step 1, name it. Awareness is power. When you catch yourself self-sabotaging, pause. Say, I see you, fear. You're trying to keep me safe. But I don't need protection from success. Step 2, challenge the belief. Ask, what am I really afraid of? Maybe you're afraid of being judged by people you know, losing your old identity, having more responsibility, or not living up to expectations. Write it down. Seeing it on paper makes it less powerful. Step 3, reframe success. Your brain thinks success is dangerous, so show it evidence that success is safe. Success doesn't mean losing yourself. It means becoming more of yourself. Success doesn't mean losing relationships. It means attracting aligned ones. Success doesn't mean endless pressure. It means more freedom to choose. Step 4, take small steps toward success anyway, even while afraid. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action despite fear. Every time you move forward despite the fear, you prove to your nervous system, we can handle this. And slowly the fear loses its grip. Emily did the pitch. She was terrified, but she showed up. And you know what happened? She didn't die. She didn't collapse. She didn't become someone she hated. She just grew. And that's what success does. It doesn't destroy you. It expands you. But you have to be willing to let go of the small version of yourself that feels safe. The fear of success says, stay small, stay safe. Effortless wealth says, grow gradually, grow sustainably, but grow. Because you're not meant to stay where you are, you're meant to evolve. And every time you resist growth, you betray your potential. The fear of success is real, but it's not stronger than your desire for a meaningful life. Honor the fear, but don't obey it. Move forward anyway, and watch how success doesn't destroy you. It reveals you. Chapter 8. The art of receiving. Most people are great at giving, terrible at receiving. They'll help a friend move, lend money, offer advice, work overtime, but when someone tries to help them, no, I'm fine, I don't want to be a burden. This is not humility, it's a block to wealth. Because effortless wealth requires the ability to receive, not just money. Help, opportunities, compliments, support. If you block receiving in any area, you block it in all areas. Think about the last time someone complimented your work. Did you accept it gracefully, or did you deflect? Oh, it was nothing. I just got lucky. Anyone could have done it. That's rejecting abundance. Every time you deflect a compliment, you tell the universe, I'm not worthy of recognition. Every time you refuse help, you say, I must do everything alone. Every time you undercharge, you declare, I don't deserve full value. And the universe listens. Receiving is an art. And most people were never taught it. We were taught, don't be greedy, don't take more than you need, be grateful for scraps. But those teachings create scarcity, not abundance. Real receiving looks like this. When someone compliments you, thank you, I worked hard on that. When someone offers help, I'd appreciate that. When someone wants to pay you well, I'm worth it. Simple, direct, without apology. But for most people, this feels uncomfortable. It feels arrogant, selfish, entitled. That discomfort is your money block speaking. Let me ask you, do you believe you're worthy of wealth? Not do you want it. Do you believe deep down that you deserve it? If you hesitated, you have a receiving block. And until you heal that block, no amount of strategy will create lasting wealth. You can make $1 million. But if you can't receive it without guilt, you'll lose it. Here's how to practice receiving. Exercise 1. Accept every compliment for the next 7 days. No deflecting. No downplay. Just thank you. Notice how uncomfortable it feels. That discomfort is your block surfacing. Sit with it. Don't run from it. Exercise 2. Ask for help with something small. Ask a friend for advice. Ask a colleague for a favor. Let someone buy you coffee. Practice receiving without owing. Receiving without guilt. Receiving just because you're worthy. Exercise 3. Increase your prices, even by 10%. Not because you've added more value, but because you're worth more. See how it feels to receive what you're actually worth. The art of receiving is about opening yourself to the flow of abundance. Money is energy. It needs to flow in and out. If you only give, you create an imbalance. If you can't receive, you block the flow. Wealthy people understand this. They give generously, and they receive gracefully. No guilt, no shame, no apology. They know their value, and they allow others to honor it. This doesn't mean becoming entitled. It means becoming open to opportunities, open to support, open to wealth. Because effortless wealth isn't about chasing money. It's about allowing it to come to you. And it can only come if you're willing to receive it. So practice. Receive the compliment. Receive the help. Receive the money without guilt, without apology, without feeling like you owe anyone. Just receive. Because you're worthy. You always have been. Chapter 9. The wealthy mindset shift. There's a moment that separates the wealthy from everyone else. It's not a skill. It's not a strategy. It's a shift in identity. The shift from I want to be wealthy to I am becoming wealthy. Subtle difference. Massive impact. I want to be wealthy keeps wealth in the future. It's a desire, a wish, a hope. It's something outside of you that you're chasing. I am becoming wealthy makes it present. It's a process you're already in. It's an identity you're stepping into. And identity determines behavior. Let me show you what this looks like. A person who wants to be wealthy thinks, one day I'll be able to afford this. Someday I'll start that business. When I have more money, I'll invest. A person who is becoming wealthy thinks, how can I create value that allows me to afford this? What's the first step I can take toward that business today? How can I invest with what I have now? See the difference? One is waiting for permission. The other is creating the path. The wealthy mindset shift is about taking ownership, not of outcomes you can't control, but of actions you can. You can't control whether you get the promotion, but you can control how much value you deliver. You can't control market crashes, but you can control your financial education. You can't control other people's opinions, but you can control your commitment to growth. The wealthy mindset says, I am the variable that changes everything, not the economy, not my circumstances, not my past, me. When you adopt this mindset, everything shifts. You stop blaming. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting for the right time. You start asking, what can I do today? This doesn't mean toxic positivity. It doesn't mean ignoring real obstacles. It means focusing on what's within your control and acting on it. Let me tell you about Michael. Michael grew up poor. He could have spent his life blaming his circumstances, and for a while he did. But one day he made a decision. My past doesn't define my future. That single thought changed everything. He started reading books on finance. He took free online courses. He networked with people ahead of him. He created value in small ways. 5 years later, he had built a 6-figure business, not because he got lucky, but because he shifted his identity from, I'm a victim of my circumstances, to I'm the creator of my future. That's the wealthy mindset shift. Here's how you cultivate it. Practice 1. Speak as your future self. Instead of I wish I could, say I'm learning how to. Instead of I can't afford it, say I'm figuring out how. Language shapes identity. Identity shapes action. Practice 2. Act as if. If your wealthy future self made decisions, what would they choose? Would they skip the course because it's expensive, or invest because it's valuable? Stay in the dead-end job, or take the leap? Spend recklessly, or spend strategically? Act as your future self would. Practice 3. Surround yourself with the right inputs. Your environment shapes your mindset. Are you listening to people who complain about money, or people who create it? Are you consuming content that makes you feel stuck, or content that inspires action? Are you spending time with people who think small, or people who think big? You become the average of what you consume. Choose wisely. The wealthy mindset is not about arrogance. It's about belief. Belief that you're capable. Belief that you're worthy. Belief that wealth is not reserved for others but available to you too. And when you believe this, you act differently. You take risks you previously avoided. You invest in yourself without hesitation. You charge what you're worth. You walk away from situations that don't serve you. This is the shift. From I hope to I'm creating. From maybe someday to starting today. From I want to I am. And once you make this shift, you can't unsee it. You realize you were always capable. You just needed to believe it. Effortless wealth starts with this belief. Because strategy without belief creates frustration. But belief with action creates inevitability. Shift your mindset, shift your identity, and watch how your reality follows. Chapter 10, the energy of money. Money is not just paper or numbers in an account. Money is energy, and like all energy, it flows. It moves toward certain people and away from others, not randomly, intentionally. The energy of money flows toward confidence, clarity, and contribution. It flows away from desperation, confusion, and scarcity. Let me explain. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract money effortlessly? They start a business and it thrives. They ask for a raise and get it. They invest and it grows. It's not luck. It's energy. These people carry an energetic frequency that says, I'm aligned with abundance. And the universe responds to frequency. Now think about people who constantly struggle with money. They work hard, maybe harder than anyone, but money always seems just out of reach. It's not because they're not capable. It's because their energy is misaligned. Their energy says, I'm desperate. I'm scared. I don't have enough. And the universe responds to that too. This isn't spiritual nonsense. It's observable reality. Desperate energy repels opportunities. Confident energy attracts them. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. Scenario 1. Job interview. Person A walks in thinking, I really need this job. I hope they like me. Please pick me. Their energy is low, needy, desperate. Person B walks in thinking, I'm here to see if we're a good fit. I bring value. I'm exploring if this aligns with my goals. Their energy is high, confident, selective. Who gets the offer? Person B. Not because they're more qualified, but because their energy is magnetic. Scenario 2. Pitching a client. Person A. I really need this client. I'll do anything. I can lower my price. Desperate energy. Person B. I'd love to work together if it's the right fit. Here's the value I provide. Here's my rate. Abundant energy. Who gets the high-paying client? Person B. Because confident energy creates perceived value. Desperate energy destroys it. The energy of money is not about pretending you're rich when you're not. It's about operating from abundance even when building wealth. Here's how you shift your energy. 1. Stop chasing. Chasing is desperate energy. Start attracting. Attracting is magnetic energy. How? By focusing on value creation, not money extraction. When you create value, money flows naturally. When you chase money, it runs. 2. Detach from outcome. Attachment creates anxiety. Anxiety lowers your frequency. Do your best work, then release it. Trust that if it's meant for you, it will come. If not, something better will. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop suffocating opportunities with need. 3. Celebrate small wins. Gratitude raises your energetic frequency. Every dollar earned, every lesson learned, every step forward. Celebrate it, because celebration tells your subconscious, we're winning, and your subconscious creates more of what you celebrate. 4. Spend from abundance, not scarcity. Even if your budget is tight, make decisions from abundance. Scarcity says, I can't afford this coffee. Abundance says, I choose not to spend on coffee today because I'm investing in something more important. See the difference? One is lack, one is choice. Choice is power. Lack is victimhood. 5. Give before receiving. Money flows in circles, not straight lines. When you give value, help, or resources freely, you signal to the universe, I trust the flow, and the universe rewards trust. This doesn't mean give recklessly. It means give strategically. Give to causes you believe in. Give to people who are aligned with your values. Give knowing you're contributing to the cycle of abundance. The energy of money is simple. You get what you give. You attract what you embody. You receive what you're open to. If your energy is closed, guarded, fearful, money stays away. If your energy is open, confident, generous, money flows. This is why two people with the same skills can have completely different financial outcomes. It's not just what they do. It's who they are. Effortless wealth is about becoming the energetic match for the wealth you desire. And when you do, you stop chasing. You start receiving. Because money doesn't go where it's needed most, it goes where it's welcomed most. Chapter 11. The wealth automation system. Effortless wealth requires systems, not willpower. Because willpower is finite. Systems are infinite. Most people rely on motivation to build wealth. This month I'll save more. This year I'll invest. Soon I'll start that side project. But motivation fades, life gets busy, and the good intentions disappear. Wealthy people don't rely on motivation. They build systems that work whether they're motivated or not. The wealth automation system has 3 pillars. Pillar 1, automate your savings. The biggest mistake people make is trying to save what's left at the end of the month. There's never anything left. Instead, save first, automatically. Set up automatic transfers the day your paycheck hits. 10% to savings, 10% to investments, 5% to education and growth. Before you even see the money, it's allocated. This removes the decision. You're not relying on discipline. You're relying on systems. And over time, you don't even miss it. Your lifestyle adjusts. Pillar 2, automate your income growth. Most people have one income source, their job. And if that disappears, they're in trouble. Wealthy people build multiple income streams, but not manually, automatically. Digital products that sell while you sleep, investments that pay dividends, systems that generate passive income. The goal is not to work harder. The goal is to build assets that work for you. Start small. Create one digital product. Write one ebook. Build one online course. Launch one automated service. Then refine it. Promote it. Scale it. You don't need 10 income streams immediately. You need one that works. Then you add another. Pillar 3, automate your decisions. Decision fatigue kills wealth. Every day, you make thousands of micro-decisions, and each one drains your mental energy. Wealthy people automate decisions through rules and systems. I invest 20% of every dollar I earn. I only buy assets, not liabilities. I review my finances every Sunday. I say no to opportunities that don't align with my goals. These aren't things they think about. They're automatic. Rules eliminate the mental load, and when your mind is clear, you make better financial choices. Here's how to build your wealth automation system. Step 1, audit your financial habits. Where is money leaking? Where are you making emotional decisions? Where are you relying on willpower instead of systems? Step 2, create one automated system this month. Just one. Maybe it's auto-transferring $50 to savings, scheduling one weekly hour for side project work, or setting up an auto-investment plan. Start small. Prove it works. Then, add more. Step 3, remove friction. The easier the system, the more likely you'll stick to it. Don't create a 10-step savings process. Make it one click. Don't create a complex business. Start with one simple offer. Simplicity wins. Step 4, review and refine. Systems aren't set and forget. They need occasional adjustments. Once a month, review. Is this system still serving me? What can I improve? What can I automate next? The wealth automation system is how you create effortless wealth. You're not grinding daily. You're building systems that compound daily. You're not relying on motivation. You're relying on design. And over time, your systems become your fortune. Because wealth is not built by what you do once. It's built by what you do consistently. And systems ensure consistency. Chapter 12, the 90-day wealth activation plan. Understanding effortless wealth is one thing. Living it, that's the real transformation. Change doesn't happen from what you learn once. It happens from what you practice repeatedly. So here's your 90-day blueprint. Not rules, not perfection, just practice. Because wealth is built one intentional choice at a time. Month 1 is foundation. Week 1, the money audit. This week is about awareness. Day 1 through 3, track every dollar. Where does your money go? Not judgment, just awareness. Day 4 through 5, identify leaks. Where are you spending unconsciously? Subscriptions you don't use, habits that don't serve you. Day 6 through 7, create your baseline. Income minus expenses equals reality. Face it honestly. Week 2, the belief reset. This week is about rewiring your money mindset. Daily practice. Morning abundance reset. Before checking your phone, write 3 things you're grateful for financially. Even if it's small. I have a roof over my head. I have skills that create value. I'm learning how wealth works. This trains your brain to see abundance. Week 3, the value inventory. This week is about discovering your value. Ask yourself, what am I naturally good at? What do people come to me for? What problems can I solve? Write down 10 ways you create value. Not for anyone else, for yourself. This is your wealth foundation. Week 4, the first 3% improvement. This week, improve one financial area by 3%. Maybe you increase your savings by $30, raise your rate by 3%, or cut one unnecessary expense by 3%. Small, achievable, done. By the end of month 1, you have clarity, awareness, and momentum. Month 2 is activation. Week 5, the income expansion plan. This week, identify one way to increase income, not by working more hours, by creating more value. Options: freelance one skill, sell one digital product, offer one service, or ask for a raise with documented value. Choose one. Take action. Week 6, the automation setup. This week, automate your first wealth system. Set up automatic transfers, 10% to savings, 10% to investments, even if it's $10, 5% to self-education. Automation removes decision fatigue. Week 7, the network expansion. This week, connect with one person ahead of you financially, not to ask for money, to learn their mindset. How do they think about wealth? What systems do they use? What mistakes did they make? Proximity to wealth teaches wealth. Week 8, the receiving practice. This week, practice receiving without guilt. Accept every compliment. Ask for help with one thing. Charge your worth on one project. Receiving is a skill. Practice it. By the end of month 2, you're earning more, automating wealth, and expanding your network. Month 3 is acceleration. Week 9, the value ladder build. This week, create your first scalable offer. A digital product, a group program, a productized service, something that doesn't require your time per transaction. Week 10, the energy audit. This week, evaluate your energetic frequency. Are you operating from scarcity or abundance? Are you chasing or attracting? Are you desperate or confident? Adjust your energy. It's your most valuable asset. Week 11, the wealthy identity integration. This week, act as your wealthy future self. Make one decision your wealthy self would make. Invest in yourself. Say no to what doesn't align. Say yes to what scares you in a good way. Week 12, the momentum review. This week, review your 90-day journey. Where were you on day 1? Where are you now? Celebrate every win, no matter how small. Ask yourself, what worked? What didn't? What's next? Then, plan your next 90 days. By the end of 90 days, something powerful happens. You're not the same person who started. You've built new habits. You've created new income. You've shifted your identity. And most importantly, you've proven to yourself effortless wealth is real. Not because life got easier, but because you got smarter. Not because you worked harder, but because you worked with alignment. Not because you chased money, but because you attracted it. This is the 90-day wealth activation plan, not a theory, a practice, not a wish, a system. And when you complete it, you'll realize effortless wealth was never about the money. It was about becoming the person who naturally attracts it. Chapter 13, Living AS Wealth. There is a state very few people reach, a state where wealth is no longer something you pursue. It's something you are. This is what it means to live as wealth. Not I want to be wealthy, not I'm becoming wealthy, but I am wealth. This isn't arrogance, it's embodiment. When you live as wealth, money is no longer your focus. Value creation is. You don't wake up thinking, how do I make money today? You wake up thinking, how do I create impact today? And money follows. Because wealth is a byproduct of value. The more value you create, the more wealth you generate. But most people have it backwards. They focus on the money and forget the value. That's why they stay stuck. Living as wealth means you've internalized every lesson in this book. You no longer hustle from fear. You create from inspiration. You no longer chase opportunities. You evaluate them. You no longer react to financial stress. You respond with strategy. You've become the calm in the chaos. When others panic about the economy, you adapt. When others complain about lack, you create abundance. When others blame circumstances, you take ownership. This is the shift. From the world happens to me to I create my world. And when you live as wealth, something beautiful happens. People feel it. They don't know what it is, but they sense something different about you. You carry a quiet confidence, not loud, not boastful, just certain. Certain that you'll figure it out. Certain that you're valuable. Certain that wealth is your natural state, and that certainty is magnetic. Opportunities find you. People want to work with you. Money flows to you, not because you're chasing it, but because you're embodying it. Living as wealth also means you've released the fear of losing it, the fear of not being enough, the fear of judgment. You've realized that wealth is not about the number in your bank account, it's about the peace in your mind. You can have $10 million and feel poor. You can have $10,000 and feel rich. It's not the amount, it's the energy. And when you live as wealth, you operate from abundance regardless of your current balance. You invest in yourself without hesitation. You give generously without fear of lack. You spend strategically without guilt. Because you trust. You trust that more is always coming. You trust that you're capable of creating value. You trust that wealth is infinite, not finite. Living as wealth is the final stage of effortless wealth. It's not something you achieve once and it's done. It's a state you return to daily. Because life will test you. There will be losses, setbacks, unexpected expenses. But when you live as wealth, you don't collapse. You adjust. You don't panic. You strategize. You don't quit. You pivot. Because you know who you are, not someone chasing wealth, someone who embodies it. And when you reach this state, you realize the journey was never about the money. It was about becoming the person who naturally creates it. You don't need to convince yourself you're wealthy anymore. You just are, not because of what you have, but because of who you've become. This is living as wealth. The final truth, if you've made it this far, you've done something most people never do. You've chosen to see wealth differently. You've learned that effortless wealth is not about luck. It's about alignment. You've learned that money doesn't flow to the hardest workers. It flows to the smartest creators. You've learned that wealth is not something you chase. It's something you become. You've walked through the lies of hustle culture. You've identified your invisible money blocks. You've applied the effortless wealth formula. You've practiced the abundance reset. You've implemented the 3% rule. You've mastered the value creation method. You've faced your fear of success. You've learned the art of receiving. You've shifted your mindset and your energy. You've built systems that automate wealth. You've activated your 90-day plan. And now you're learning to live as wealth. Remember this, wealth is not a destination. It's a way of being. It's not something you achieve once and it's done. It's something you embody daily. Some days will be hard. You'll doubt yourself. You'll be tempted to go back to hustle, to force, to fear. But now you know better. You know that effortless wealth is not about doing more. It's about being more. More aligned, more intentional, more valuable. Keep practicing the principles. Keep building the systems. Keep trusting the process. And when life gets heavy, return to the foundation. You are not chasing wealth. You are becoming it. One decision at a time. One system at a time. One aligned action at a time. Because wealth is not reserved for the lucky few. It's available to anyone willing to think differently, act intentionally, and trust the flow. And now, you're one of them. Not because you read a book, but because you chose to apply it. The secret law of effortless wealth is no longer a secret to you. You know it. You've internalized it. And now, you're living it. So go, create value, build systems, trust abundance. And remember, money is not earned by working harder. It's attracted by becoming better. You're not meant to struggle for wealth. You're meant to flow with it. This is the secret law of effortless wealth. And it's yours now.